Hey, what is up, guys? I'm doing the 1 year, 1,500 mile review. Actually, I've had it for about a year and a half now. I've learned a whole bunch of new stuff. A few changes from my original review right off the bat. Just living with it for a year and a half now. Going through all the things that you got to do, maintaining it and stuff. And I'm gonna go ahead and get into that now. So first off, this thing is amazing. It is so much fun. I've literally never had a vehicle that was as much fun as this, and I've had like Evos and YZ 125s, YZ 450s. I have an SMR, supermoto race bike, all kinds of shit. This is just so much fun. Like, is it as hardcore as those, as fast as those? Like, no, but it is just so much fun to just like rip it everywhere. You're always flooring it. You feel so secure and safe on this, and it's so light. It's like the best like exploration bike ever. It's so quiet, like nobody can hear you, no one's coming outside telling you to like get the fuck out. Nobody hears you. You can pretty much ride it on like bike tracks. Nobody really cares at this point. Even the cops kind of just like let you go usually. Now if you have like a dirt bike, something more hardcore, something loud, noisy, people are way less likely to just like let that go. And I also hear a lot of people talking shit about how slow this is, how not hardcore it is. But I mean, this is not an electric dirt bike. It's somewhere in between like an e-bike and a dirt bike. It's kind of like, I mean, it sounds really lame, but it's like an e-scooter kind of. Actually, before I spent money on this, I was going to use that money to buy a Honda Monkey, which is kind of like a little off-roady scooter 125cc thing. Now, even though those are pretty different, this is like a lot more off-road oriented and stuff. I still feel like they're pretty similar, like I guess speed-wise and stuff. I mean, it's an off-road bike too. I would say this one's closer to the new Trail 125 or something like that, by Honda, but even that, this is probably like a little bit more hardcore off-road. This is kind of like a new animal. You don't really see too many things like this that are old school. This is kind of like a new phenomenon in between a bicycle and a dirt bike kind of thing. Really hardcore off-road stuff, just tons of fun. So when I first got this on the initial review, I really thought that the suspension was gonna fuck up like hardcore. But so far so good. The suspension's really, really nice actually. I really, really like the rear shock. I have literally no complaints about it, except that it could use a lock ring for the spring there, because I do have to adjust it sometimes. The forks have been really good. They haven't blown or anything, but they're way, way too soft for me, and I can't find anyone that can really give me information on how to make these stiffer. I've asked on all the forums. I'm trying to maybe put some spacers in there or something. I've contacted D&M. They told me there's no spring upgrade for this or anything. But I'm gonna see. I'm always jerry rigging stuff. I feel like there's a way I could get this. Putting in some spacers or something like that. I'll figure it out. But yeah, it's just way too springy for me personally. If you're gonna be doing like hardcore jumps or like competition or something, I would say go ahead and like you would probably need to upgrade these. And these are like even better than the RSTs supposedly. The RSTs do have some are prone to like snapping and stuff, but these are still just not hardcore enough to do like really big jumps on this. There's some kids down the street from me who have locked up their USDs. They've also cracked 2 sets of RSTs and stuff. But yeah, that's because they're doing some hardcore jumps and stuff. But for like 99% of us out there, if you don't weigh over 230 pounds, you're not doing competition riding, you're not doing super hardcore jumps, you literally have to do nothing to the SUR RON. As is from the factory, it's going to be perfect. It's so nice. You really don't have to change anything unless you're doing hardcore stuff. And if you're doing hardcore stuff, you probably just want to do suspension, wheels, maybe the bars and the rear sprocket and stuff, and you'll probably be good. I mean, if you wanted to go faster, you can go 72 volt battery, but I mean, this is actually really nice. People like to talk shit about the brakes too. I found that these brakes are actually really good. They are 4 piston calipers, and SUR RON did address the problem of them not working very well in like 2019 or so. They upgraded the brake pads and they're actually pretty nice, but once I upgraded the brake pads from that, they've been perfect. Honestly, the weak link in it is the wheels, the tires. The tires are locking up before the brakes. You know, the brakes lock up and the tires are skidding, so the next weak link in the braking system is the tires. And so I assume if you upgrade the brake rotors on top of the brake pads, you're not going to need to upgrade the brakes at all, unless again you're doing competition shit or something. But really there's no need to upgrade. I feel like they're very substantial brakes. The rear wheel, if you're a really big guy or doing, you know, jumps and stuff, again, you'll probably want to upgrade that. I have bent this thing. But yeah, like I said, you really don't have to upgrade anything. If you're doing like nothing but off-roading, and you're like a thin person, I would say maybe upgrade to a 52. If you're like a normal, slightly heavy, I would say 54. If you're a big guy like me and doing nothing but off-roading, you get the 58. If you're a big guy doing kind of like half and half, I would say get the 52 tooth sprocket right off the bat. It'll take a lot of stress off the battery, and it'll feel a lot better off-road going up hills and stuff like that. Because the stock 48, I believe it's 48, is just the gearing is just too low or whatever. The stock tires, I still have the stock one up front, honestly. The stock tires are not that bad. They're not bad enough that you would want to like switch them out right off the bat, like just waste them, but I would not recommend getting the same ones again. This Kenda is DOT rated, it's great, and it costs only 40 bucks, which is about the same as the SUR RON tires, the CSTs, and this is just night and day. This is so much better. But again, like, I wouldn't just like right off the bat switch the tires. The stock ones are not too bad, especially once you like break them in a little bit. They're actually pretty decent, but again, if you are getting to the point where you need to change them, I would honestly suggest going for something better, because they're not amazing. But yeah, there's nothing really like too much to talk shit about right off the bat. Obviously a lot of the components could be better, but this is exactly what this bike is supposed to be. It's exactly what it's supposed to do. Great weekend bike, you know, taking it off road, going over maybe like little jumps, little ledges and stuff, hopping over like you know, logs and stuff like that. This is perfect for that. You know, this isn't a motocross bike. This is an awesome little trail technical bike, and it's awesome for what it is. It's super awesome for what it is. I have had some problems with the battery mainly. Even right off the bat, I would just love this to have like double the range, you know. That's the only downside. You know, even in my first video, I was like, if this thing just had double the range, it would be perfect. Right now, it's even lower than that for me, but that was most likely my fault. I let the battery sit for a while. Had the charger plugged in. I wasn't really taking too good care of it. This is a very delicate component that you have to take care of. That's one thing that a lot of people don't really talk about too much. This is something you really have to be on. You have to be on this battery maintenance thing. You can't charge it right after a ride. You have to make sure it's cool. You can't let it like sit for a while on too high of a charge. You can't let it sit too low of a charge. You can't leave the charger in. You can't leave the charger plugged into the wall. You can't leave it plugged into this. If you're gonna let it sit, make sure you disconnect the battery. All these little things that you must do, otherwise this thing's gonna fuck up. Like, I just let it sit one time, few months, didn't really do anything, wasn't really taking care of it, and I fucked it up, and that's on me, I guess. But yeah, if you take care of this thing, you're not doing anything too crazy, this bike will last you for a long ass time, and it's going to be really freaking awesome. So I do not regret buying this. I would recommend this to people. I recommend it to all my friends. I tell them how cool it is. I definitely don't regret buying this thing. It is a little pricey, but I personally tried to build my own with parts. You know, I'm not about to build my own battery. You know, I don't know enough about that. I was afraid of getting shocked, but just like buying my own battery, buying the wiring harness, all the shocks, then you factor in, you know, shipping and taxes and everything. Honestly, even just building one myself was going to cost more than the SUR RON. So I feel like the SUR RON's probably like the best bang for your buck, really. I mean, you probably could make one faster, more hardcore, but I mean, for again, the 99% of us out there who don't really know too much about that, this is going to be the way to go, and this is the best bang for your buck. Other things out there are like 8 grand for the same kind of capabilities as this. So, I mean, definitely like it. I have had some problems. I'm not going to really go into depth about them here. I talked about the battery a little bit, but I posted a video like everything that's gone wrong with my SUR RON. If you want to know more about every little thing that's gone wrong with it, go ahead and check out that video. For the most part, this is just a review how I feel about this bike. You know, having it for a year and a half, and I really like it. I'm ready to upgrade it more. I'm going to put the supermotor wheels on, bigger rotors, change out a bunch of shit. So yeah, stay tuned for that. Make sure you subscribe, and yeah, check it out. See you.